Happy New Year, everybody. I thought I'd do a little update on what's been going on with our fish and our fish ponds. After GB Aquariums did his little experiment on the different nitrate testings, it motivated me to get off my butt and do a quick video of my own, just to let everybody know how they're all travelling, how the bogs are going, and the BCB baskets, etc. These are the big guys in the big tank. This was the new aquarium, well, not aquarium, new pond we set up. It's a 1200 litre for my big guys. As the little ones were, the little ponds were too small for them. They're getting too big. Hey, big daddy. So I thought, let's do a quick catch up of how everything's going. This pond's sitting good. I had trouble with the nitrates, which is why a lot of my videos were on, especially bogs and the BCB baskets or plenums from Dr. Novak, trying to find a way to reduce my nitrates without having the water change all the time. So my bogs are now finally, it's probably been a good 6 months. I'll just chuck that one back on. I did a quick reading today with the JBL. I had a issue with the JBL and the API. I was getting totally different readings. My JBL kit was always testing a lot lower than my API test kit. So I wasn't sure which one to go by. After GB's aquariums, I've come to the conclusion now that they all test a little bit different. Jolly girl. That's my dog in the background. Test a little bit different. So with the JBL, Charlie, get a lot lower reading, but I think they test for different things. And finally my bogs, which are very, very slim, I think I can see a difference, are finally starting. So my bog, this was my bog from my bogs, which is, well, I thought 1, and this is from the actual pond, which is a little bit higher. I think it still looks like 1, but less than the bog. And I did this twice and I got very similar results. So these test right down to 1. So I assume if it's getting up into the 10 or 20, it would be similar to the API's 40 to 80, because when I test with API, I get 1 on this chart. I get usually 10 to 20 on the API test kits. So yes, I think they test for something different. So, but I do think I'm finally starting to see a result with my bogs. They are, even as small as it is, testing lower than the actual pond, which is what I want. The bogs are designed to help remove nitrates via the anoxic system, very similar to your BCB baskets. So I have a pretty relatively low reading of nitrates anyway, considering the size of these guys. Even though the pond's so big, oh gosh, they produce some bloody nitrates, that's for certain. The old ponds I had them in, we've had a rearrange, and now they are in the gardens. You won't be able to see much in here because I've got this one full of plants. This one has 3 big goldies and actually a heap of guppies. But I'm not sure if you'll be able to see the goldies. Oh, you can see the odd flash there. They think I'm feeding them, so just to show you the size of them, but these guys, I also run a bog. That's it there now. It just does so much better in the garden in the sunlight. And these ponds test negative. They have 0 nitrates at all. I have a lot of plants in there, but I don't know, I just think because the plants grow so quickly, they suck a lot more nitrates than the pond that doesn't get the sunlight, which is under the house a little bit. And my other guys, also on a bog system. This one's reasonably new. As you can see, the plants aren't very established. And this one is my, let's see if we can just remove some of this weed. They usually come over because they think I'm feeding them. Let's remove some. See if we can see it. See if we can see some of this. Let's get the feeding ring over. It's a little bit easier to view his. Yeah, and there's a goldie in there. He's still only little. I think a goldie egg that was on one of my plants. I've obviously thrown into this pond, and he has grown and survived, so I thought I'd let him live out his day in here until he gets a little bit bigger. Throw him in with the big guys. This pond stays 0 nitrates as well. They only have guppies in here. This is only about 150, maybe 180 litres. You can see that this pond is also full. Here's my bitty girl. She'll be moving out soon. But this one is also full of little baby guppies. And a few more preggy mamas. This pond is pretty much so beautiful, and oh, you can see how clear they stay. You can see my shrimp. Yeah, the way guppies. And you can see the shrimp all the way to the bottom in these ponds. So the bogs are pretty amazing in my opinion. The plants help obviously. And my red root floaters, I've added, are slowly starting to shine. I feel them are still a bit green. Now that I've got this pond outside, they're doing a hell of a lot better. It's amazing what sunlight, a little bit of sunlight can do for your ponds and tanks. I know it also encourages algae, but if you can keep low nitrates, you won't have algae issues. I don't ever have any algae issues with my bogs running. If anything, I would like a little bit of algae. I do have a little bristle nose in here somewhere, so I do like to keep a little bit of algae, but I think because of the low nitrates, we just don't get any. There's probably plenty of biofilm and everything though, so that's the main thing. Okay guys, you can see my zucchini down there. I know, you've already been fed, sorry. Sorry guys, no dinner for you. I can't get over how big that gold is getting. He was, oh my goodness, literally no bigger than an eyelash, as they are when they first hatch out of their little egg sac. Probably been about, so it was in summer, so it wouldn't be any more than 6 months. And I'm able to 30 degrees in summer. These are also pond guppies, most of them, especially the plain mums that you can see. They're all pond guppies that just live year round from a pond. So I bought a few nice looking, you can see a couple of sexy males in there. I bought a couple of nice males to breed with them to see how they go over winter. Don't get too cold, but just not get down cool enough that maybe some of the newer guppies from pet stores may not survive it, but I'm hoping the mum's offsprings have some of the mum's gene pool. They're pretty hardy, those pond guppies. I get them from a friend who just has them stuck in her pond year round too, and they go pretty crazy. Quick look at the shrimp and betta tank. There's some of my shrimpies. They live out their days with my lady, who's usually hiding or hunting. This one I actually do still weekly water changes on, just to keep super low nitrates. Not that they get high. There she is. She's hiding in there. Are you hiding in there, Mama? Probably waiting to hunt down her shrimpies. And my blackworm. I only started these about 3 or 4 months ago. So I keep them in lava rock. This is zucchini. Can't see them because they'll all be under the gravel at the moment. And a algae wafer every couple of days. Algae wafer or a piece of zucchini. I come in at night and they're just covered in the zucchini. They love their veggies. So I don't know whether the BCB baskets are actually working. I'm not sure if they are in enough flow, because the BCB baskets need a reasonably high flow to do their job. And the bogs have been set up for over 6 months now, and they, I think, are slowly starting to show some results as far as my nitrates go. Hey guys. Yeah, you always want to tell you what, if you want to keep pretty looking planted tanks, don't get goldfish. All this weed comes out of those 2 ponds. Every couple of days they'll demolish it. It'll all be gone in a couple of days, and then I'll go and raid those other ponds again to keep weed in there for them to nibble on. I am thinking now we are going to actually put this outside. I'm thinking it needs some sunlight. After seeing how well the other 2 ponds do, we're going to set her up the back there and do another gazebo type thing to give them a bit of cover, but I still want some sunlight accessing the water. I think the plants just grow so much better having a little bit of natural sunlight, and the results are amazing. I can't remember the last time this pond had nitrates in it. It's been here for a good few months now as well, and no water changes, just top ups. Occasionally I do a little one just to make sure the pH doesn't drop or anything, but otherwise sunlight is key to a lot of these plants growing well. One more last look at the guppies before I go. Guppies don't produce as much waste as your goldies anyway, but I have no doubt they'll be overrun soon. I only only started off with probably 6 or 7 guppies. I have no idea how many babies. Oh, this little goes out. There he is. One of the zucchini. Oh, that's a bit naked. Look at them. I think that's my phone because I can see beautifully from here. Here he is. This is Becco and the shrimp. I very rarely get to see my Beccos. Cool. I actually removed Dad because I noticed he wasn't coming out much, and I was hoping to get him out before he took trapped Mum in the cage, but unfortunately I was too late. I've seen baby Becco swimming around in there. So I finally removed Dad. Have to wait for those babies to get bigger. I'll get some of those Beccos out of there because I do not want them running the tank. Oh, here's another little tub I put out. Let's go and have a look over here. Oh God, excuse my terribly amateur videos. I'm just wandering around with my phone in my gardens. So I threw this out here with a heap of weed, and obviously there was shrimp randomly in the weed. Oh God, I don't think I'm going to be able to see this, but this pond is too much glare. And it's terribly murky at the moment. Anyway, that one's full of shrimp as well. And this one grows all my weed for my goldfish ponds. Because the weed just grows crazy in here with just shrimp and low flow. And this is where my red root floaters started to finally brighten up. In the other pond they just stayed green, but I think being out in the sun, again the sun has made a massive difference in how a lot of my plants are growing. It's so hard keeping plants with goldfish, so I've got to grow them in one pond and then transfer them over to my others. You want to see my new baby? You want to see my new baby? My Christmas baby. Oh, my Jessie Gill. You want to say good morning to everybody? And Happy New Year? Hey. Hey. I'm Jessie Gill. And this is my noisy one. Charlie. Yes, you're my noisy one. Hey. We don't know what she is, as you can see. I don't think anybody else does either. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, my pretty girl. You can get down after. I've seen you. So, guys, everything's going really, really well. Big shout out to GB Aquariums for his video on nitrates and the different testings and the different nitrate tests and the different results that you get. Go on over and check out some of his videos. He's got some pretty cool videos. A little bit more entertaining than my ones, and definitely a little bit more what do you say, a little bit more well done than mine. I'll just grab a phone and shoot. So say goodbye to everybody. Hope everyone had an awesome Christmas. It's been nice here. This is how hot it is. Oh my girl. So yes, have a good Christmas, and I will catch you on the flip side.